Hi guys, so for my video I'm going to be telling you about my personal interpretation of Armenian culture, what it's like being an Armenian growing up in Los Angeles, the stereotypes, and all of that. Standpoint theory is defined as what shapes us to be who we are from the culture that we grow up and our surroundings. And yeah. I was born and raised in the United States for most of my childhood. Despite my family wanting to move to Europe when I was 2 years old, moving to another country is really hard at first. You don't speak the language and everything is foreign to you. That's why many people move to cities that have people that speak their native language, so in the meantime they can adjust to the lifestyle, the language, and the culture, and just so it won't be as hard for them. Many people can relate to this. I've always had a love for my culture that wasn't easily explainable. My background is very collective. We're not very individualistic if you come from a Middle Eastern or Mediterranean background. Most of us aren't like that. When thinking of Armenian culture, what comes to mind for you guys? Despite all the celebrities, inventors, philanthropists, we are pretty proud of being the first Christians in the world. We adopted Christianity as a nation, the Armenian people, in 301 AD. We have some of the most holy places in the world and some of the finest cuisines. We as Armenians have always been very proud of the tiny country that we have in Asia that we come from. We're about 3 million Armenians living in Armenia and 8 million around the world in the diaspora. This makes us one of the biggest diasporic people in the world. I live in the third most Armenian populated country behind France, which is America. Los Angeles, California has the highest population of Armenians. The great thing about America is that we have so much diversity here. Every culture in the world can be found here and it's not too far away from where we live. I always believe that no matter where that you move to in another country, you shouldn't abandon your traditions. They're a part of who you are, your cultural identity. Why would you get rid of something so valuable? We all, as Armenians, look very, very different from one another. Some Armenians have light complexions, some are a bit more tan, even dark. Don't even get me started on hair color or eye color, because it varies so much. Yet when it comes to meeting each other, we never judge each other by looks. We never say, oh, you're Armenian, but you don't look, and so on and so on. Yet growing up in Los Angeles, people have the tendency to nitpick at my features. Tell me my hair color is too light, my nose is too small, comment on my height and my features, and say that I kind of look like a non-Armenian. Yet Middle Eastern people, for the most part, can tell that I'm Armenian right off the bat when we first meet. In the media, you see Armenians portrayed as dark hair and dark eyes, which is a very high misconception. In my family, we were always taught never judge people by how they look. You never know who they grow up with, who they're mixed with, or they could even be a part of your own culture. And living in somewhere as Los Angeles, you do grow to know that there's so many people that are mixed with Armenians, so many people that aren't, that understand the language or are married to Armenians. So that's kind of in every culture, I mean, not just mine. That's why it was so surprising to me growing up here and seeing how judgmental people are based on like how people look. That I do believe that Caucasians from a predominantly English-speaking background are considered the most influential in society. You see ads on TV and on billboards. If it's beauty, it's usually portrayed by people of Western European features. I think that Hardy and Wood would make a very valid point. Women and others are marginalized groups, especially minorities. They do view privilege and what they have in different ways, being from a minority background. I think that they would see my interpretation of race and culture as pretty standard and in agreement with what they have mentioned. People who come from different racial or ethnic groups understand inequality better a bit than those who don't. In the end, I would say that people that only the person has a right to say what culture they identify with. It's rude to tell someone that they don't look like where they're from or judge them from their upbringing.